huge shout outs to all the wonderful people in my community. All of you guys who show up to the streams, show up to the videos, like and comment on all my stuff means the absolute world to me, both positive and negative. Also, special shout out to all you haters out there who hate watch all my videos and leave dislikes and leave funny comments. I absolutely appreciate you guys, because without you guys, I wouldn't have the wonderful series of reading dumb comments. So I also appreciate those haters. But yeah, huge shout out to all you guys. I would not be where I'm at without you guys. We're on the road to 2K subs. Once we hit 2K subs, I will be doing an Elden Ring playthrough, where as someone who's never played a FromSoft game or, you know, beat any of them, I'm sure I'm going to get my ass kicked a lot in chat, and you guys are probably going to enjoy it. So when we hit 2K subs, there we go. Also, Omega, shout out to our 4 channel members. If you guys don't know, I just recently unlocked the ability to have members on the channel. This is a way you guys can support me even more than you guys already have, and it comes with some really cool perks. You guys will eventually be getting members exclusive videos, members exclusive streams, and other benefits like in my Discord, and just a plethora of perks. So if you guys would like to read up on that, I'm sure there's a way of seeing it on my YouTube page that I don't know where it's at, but there you go. Shout out to Cold, Johnny, Preto, and Leon for the 4 newest members of my community. And an extra big shout out to Abdullah, Titan, Runnin, Supreme, and Tyler for the absolute bombs on my stream. I greatly appreciate you guys. It means a lot to me. Special thanks to every single one of you guys who support me in every way you guys can. You guys have been absolutely killing it with the streams recently and all my other content. So truly from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And let's get to the video, shall we? Yo, how are we doing today? How are we doing, boys and girls? How are we doing? It's your boy Beastly back at it again with my famous series that I guess I'm now known for is Don't Believe These Frauds, episode 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, whatever we're on. Don't Believe These Frauds, episode whatever, on the brand new content creator by the name of Lucky Chamu. So this guy, I was actually doing a little teaser. Originally, this Don't Believe These Frauds is going to be about a fraud by the name of Aiden, if you have never heard of that guy. I was doing an Aiden video. And when I was doing research into Aiden, this guy Lucky Chamu popped up. And this guy has to have some of the dumbest content I've ever seen. And so I literally stopped, taking my notes, jotting my stuff down like I normally do when I make these videos. And I was like, I have to make a video on Chamu first. And then I went back and looked at my old comments, and someone recommended me to go look at Lucky Chamu. I'm like, oh my God, win-win. Someone recommended me to go look into the guy, and I just stumbled upon his dog shit content. So here we are. And trust me, if you guys haven't already, smash a like on the video, leave a comment at any point if you are surprised by anything you're going to see. If you guys haven't, we're on the road to 2K, so I greatly appreciate you like, comment, and subscribe, and share the videos. The more these videos get spread around, the more the YouTube algorithm, our overlord loves that shit, so I would greatly appreciate that as well. And yeah, let's get into the first clip I found for you guys, shall we? So the very first video we have on this wonderful 5-hour movie that this little journey we're all about to go on. LOL, I know how long my videos are, so I'm gonna try to like speed these up. But this video I found is from 4 years ago, and the video is titled 126 kills in squads, world record attempt. Now, spoiler alert, dropping 126 kills is crazy. Obviously, he doesn't do it individually. They do it as a unit, which you'll see later in the video who he's playing with. But this video really intrigued me when I was doing my deep dive, when I was scrubbing through all of his videos, because normally I just cover 2-boxing and, SBMM manipulating and or lying to your audience is kind of like the main thing, which don't get me wrong, this absolute POS does as well. But I actually believe, like genuinely, of all the people I've made videos on, I don't normally go down the route of like, oh, they're like hard cheating, because, that's, pretty subjective, yada, yada, yada. Anyways, this might be the first content creator I've looked at where like I genuinely feel like there's weird things going on. And so I'm not going to tell you, right? If you don't believe he's, cheating, then what have you, let me know in the comments below after you watch the clips if you think he's cheating or not. But I believe he is. Now, are other content creators probably cheating as well? Yeah. Do they hide it a lot better? Yes, they do. This guy does a lot of weird things. And you'll see later in the video what I mean by weird things and how many weird things occur before you start being like, something's a bit fishy, that sort of stuff. So I'm not going to talk over this clip. I'm going to let it play at normal speed, as you guys can see, 1:1 speed. I am not going to speed up any of these clips. I'm going to show you what we see at normal speed and tell me if this shit doesn't look weird.
What the fuck? I'm on fire!
Put him down. What was that?
Oh, I'm out of ammo.
Okay, I did. There's like 3 guys up behind me.
Wait.
So, did you guys notice any rarities or oddities that occurred in that clip? So, as you guys see from the title of the video, this is titled 126 kills. So clearly he's not a bot. Clearly Lucky is not a bot. And I would presume Biffle is not a bot, and the other people he's playing with are not bots either. So that means they're all competent players. I think we all could agree, correct? So can someone rationally, reasonably explain to me why a competent player would dump 12 shots of his 20 bullet magazine into a wall? I'm going to re-show you the clip and break it down piece by piece, but when I saw that, I was like, that was fucking weird. Again, you're going to see a lot of very weird things in this video, so at what point do all these weird things just so happen to, like, you know, how many weird things have to go down before, you know, something adds up, you know?
Me. What the fuck? I'm on fire!
So for starters, right, he pops the heartbeat sensor. This is Warzone 1, by the way, if you guys... Actually, Warzone 1, I forget. I think this was Warzone 1. I think this was Verdansk, but it doesn't matter really, the map. But he pops the heartbeat sensor, sees the person right here. He knows the person around the corner, right? Nothing fishy about that at all. This person is exactly where he said he was. He was directly next to him around the corner. There he was. Like that is nothing strange at all. So he turns around to help his teammate who's shooting this guy. Misses every shot he can. Literally hits 0 shots. Misses every shot he can. 180 flicks back behind him. Actually, maybe doing this in slow motion would probably be a little better for me to break it down play by play. But either way, this guy is exactly where he was supposed to be on the heartbeat sensor. He goes down, he turns around, shoots the guy behind him, misses literally every shot he can, flicks 180 back around again to this guy, pulls out the FAL, shoots him, misses a bunch, runs out of ammo, reloads, aims back in, and I've already counted the shots. The shots are in the bottom right corner. The FAL default has 20 bullets in the magazine. He now has 8. Homie fired 12 shots at that wall. 12. So I know he's not a bot. I know the people he's playing with are not bots. So can someone in the comments rationally explain to me why he would on reload, right? He was in a gunfight. He's reloading the weapon. He's reloading. He sees the guy, right, that he's shooting is right here. He's also, you're not going to see it, I'm going to be pausing and whatnot in the video, but he's also right here, right? He sees where the guy's at. He aims in and then just starts firing, hoping the shots hit. And none of them do. And you'll see in a moment why this is really funny, because boom, the thing he was shooting through was also getting stuck on this vending machine object, this wall, and this wall. Meaning, homie was shooting through like 3 or 4 different objects. No shit, that's not gonna work. Like, even if you're using AP rounds, that's not like FMJ. That's not going to go through. And you might say, Beastly, he was just randomly firing 12 shots over half the magazine to try to get one weak target, you know, through the wall. But dude, look at how many walls he's shooting through. Like, it wasn't like he was just shooting through one wall. That's multiple walls. I think the reason why he stopped shooting was because he realized, oh shit, I'm actually shooting through a lot of walls here. And don't worry, I don't just got one example from this fucking video. I got more, but this is just the first one. I thought this was so weird that someone as himself, who's supposedly not a bad player, who's a good player, who's playing with other good players, got into a gunfight, missed a shitload of shots, got into another gunfight, hit, I think, 1 shot, reloaded his gun, and then dumped over half the mag into the wall, like fishing for a wall bang that he would never get. And if you kind of watched it closely about him going left and right, it kind of looked like he was tracking him through the wall. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the POV of the other player, so I can't really show you what the other player saw, but this one clip looked very weird. But hey, it's just one clip, right? There's no way he has multiple of these, right? Right? So he just so happened to kind of track someone through a wall or multiple walls, dumping bullets into those walls, trying to fish for a kill. It looks weird, but nothing out of the ordinary, right? Okay, well, here we have a little bit later into the video at 6:16. As you see, there's a dot on the minimap right here. There's a dot on the compass. Actually, there's multiple dots on the compass up here. So he generally knows there's people over here, right? This is not fishy, right? He can see on the minimap there's people, right? Nothing crazy. I'm going to speed this up because this clip is rather long. However, count how long this gunfight starts versus how long the gunfight ends. You're gonna notice something very weird.
Because they're all in the fucking air. They're all in the air, bro. Where's the guys around you?
I got him.
Lucky. Where they at?
In front of me.
Down, guys in the air, dropping down. All three of them just dropped down over here.
I'm going to Lucky right now.
Yeah, they're ghosted right here. I got one of them down.
I'm gonna UAVs, boys, when we get a chance.
Nothing.
Where they at, Lucky?
On purple, in the field. Damn, right on me. That guy.
So when I saw this clip, it was at this moment I was like, wow, that looked really weird too. And if you guys were counting how many seconds lapsed from when Homie went down versus when Homie was on the roof, it was approximately 30 whole seconds. So he got into a gunfight with the guy in the field by the road, right here. He was here. Right? That's where the gunfight happened. He got beamed on top of the shed. He went down. No big deal. He self-resed, ran behind the building, replated, crawled up the building, got on top of the roof, and within seconds of being on the roof, staring at an open field, staring at a sea of brown and beige, he instantly just knows where the people are that shot him. Watch. Locks, and then they're... I'm gonna pause it here. Can you guys see who the fuck he's shooting at? Because I can't. This video's in 1080p. This video can't get any higher quality. Oh, well, Beastly. He knows the guy's the general area. There was a 30-second window between when the gunfight started and when it ended. Do you know how far those players could have ran in 30 seconds? Like these players who are in these trees could have ran over to any of these buildings. They could have ran back. They could have ran up the road. There was a 30-second window where there's no UAV. There was no red dots on the minimap. There was no red dots on the compass. There was a 30-second gap between when this fight started and when it resumed, and he just knew where he was. Like he just knew. Again, he peeks he's on the roof, right? And then they're dead. They're dead. Just dead. And you'll see why this clip's extra funny in about 15 seconds, but I can assure you, right? Normal players who don't have anything assisting them won't have a 30+ second break in a gunfight, relocate themselves, and then instantly see the opponent and then snap on them. That's not normal. Normal players don't do that. What's kind of insane though is that they're beaming him back. But to be fair, they're beaming him back because they saw where he was. So it makes sense for them to shoot back, whereas it makes no sense for how he just instantly knew where they were. Right? So this is the funny clip. So this is where this shit's gonna get extra funny. He just downed 2 of them by this little fence area by the wall next to the garage, right? He just downed 2 here and he's pushing, right? He wants the loot, he wants the ammo, he wants the plates, yada yada. He's pushing, right? He knows there's people over here because he shot them at the beginning of the fight. So these are two different groups of people. There's the people back in these trees, and there's the people right here. These are two different sets of people. So he jumps down to grab the loot. And look at that. I'm going to rewind it and put it in slow-mo just so you can see it. But look at his gun. Look at his gun. The moment he jumps off the roof, goes to grab the loot, ammo, whatever you want to, like all that garbage down there. And watch, his MP5 just snaps right to the people in the trees behind him. At this point, right, the people who he was shooting behind these trees or in this general vicinity, this area, that gunfight was over a minute ago, right? He was shooting these people first. So at this point, it's been a long time since, you know, everything's transpired. And watch, he swoops down, grabs the ammo. That's a person right there. That's a person. There's another one right here too. Boom. Now, what's funny too is they're not on the minimap. They're not on the compass. They're not pinged. He's staring at a sea of brown and beige between the grass, the dirt, and the trees. He literally aims at them and then puts the gun down. Almost as if I shouldn't be aiming at that. There's almost like this sixth sense of like, he sees them, obviously because he's getting assisted, but this clip was super funny, and it was followed up by another super funny clip. Because again, that fight started at like what, 6 something? When did this fight start? Yeah, this fight started at 6:15. We are now at 7:15. This fight has been over a minute. These people have been here for over a minute, which means these people could have relocated. You don't know where these people could have been, you know, sitting in the trees. These people could have gone anywhere. Now, luckily for him, they're still there. But the fact that he was able to pretty much instantaneously drop down from the roof and just spot the tree Wookiees off in the distance is crazy. It's crazy. And then I was like, okay. So he has a very weird clip at the beginning where he's firing 12 bullets through multiple walls, fishing for a wall bang that he's never going to get, which looked weird. And then he has this clip, these back-to-back clips, where he drops down, he gets into a gunfight with a team, gets you know, beamed, self-reses, runs into a building, replates up, runs to the top of the building, peeks from the roof, and then instantly knows where they are to then beam them. And then after he goes and picks up this loot, he then beams the people. He looked at them in the tree line about, what was that, like 25, 30 meters in the distance? With like zero issues. In a sea of brown and beige between the grass, the dirt, the trees, and the actual players themselves. Like, it was at this point in this video, I was like, that's kind of a lot of weird shit. That's kind of, at this point, I'm kind of like, I don't really know how he's doing this, because clearly he's not aim cheating, right? He misses way too many shots to be aim cheating. However, I do believe he's either using a radar hack, which was very popular back in the day. This is obviously, I think, Warzone 1. Or he's using wall hacks, where he's shooting rectangles. Basically, if you don't know how wall hacks work or look like, there's basically a red hitbox around the player, and that's what people track. And so that's what allow him to see people through walls, through, you know, long distances, through, you know, terrain, through rubble. And these last 3 gunfights are shady as fuck. Right? Like, it's either this guy has the world's greatest eagle vision, or he's shooting giant red rectangles, which is assisting him immensely at finding people. But hey, I've only shown you 3 examples of weird gunfights. There's no way there's a 4th example, right? Right? So this is a little later in the video. As you can see, we're at 9:27. And if you guys don't think any of this looks sus at all, I always have everything linked in the description. So if you don't like how I'm chopping these clips up, if you don't like the context I'm providing, you're more than welcome to go watch it yourself. I don't hide or I always disclose everything. I don't hide anything. I'm fully transparent. So if you don't like how I do something, there you go. So we're now 3.5-ish minutes past the previous clip. Why? I'm going to show you this again in normal speed. In normal speed. And tell me if this doesn't look weird.
Ah, you're good.
Come on, just complete the crown already. Fuck. No, bro.
I'm going back.
Beastly, what was weird about that clip? That clip looked super, super, super normal. What's wrong with the clip? Okay, I'm about to break this down for you in like hyper slow-mo. Hyper slow-mo. I might have rewound a little bit, so you're gonna hear my sexy voice until we get to the there we go. So he pops the heartbeat. He gets a ding, right? It's 45.2 meters, mostly west, but northwest, basically. That's the general, mostly west, but northwest, right? So you take from his location, which is where he's looking, and the dot is here, which means the dot's going to be like in this general-ish area, right here on the minimap. So he gets the ping. He sees the, okay, this is going to be a free kill. It's going to be a free kill. Keep in mind, there is no dot on the minimap and there is no dot on the compass, right? Keep in mind, right? This player, he's using this the only information he has aside from hearing footsteps, which, spoiler alert, the guy's so far away that the footsteps aren't going to be what saves him here. The player is on the other side of this truck, but as you can see from the gas that's coming in and the circle, they are on the edge of the ring, right? So these players are going to be either in the gas with their the gas mask they have in Warzone, or their players gonna be over here. But either way, all he has to go off of this entire clip, the only information he possesses is the heartbeat. That's all he got, is just the heartbeat. So then he's like, okay, I'm gonna go again. He has no visuals, no dot, nothing, no visuals. Nothing but the heartbeat, and the heartbeat happened like what, 3 or 4 seconds ago. So even the heartbeat info is at this point outdated because he that happened a couple seconds ago. He then peeks, he then mantles on top of this gravel, looks over the truck, and there the guy is. You might say, well, Beastly, that was where the guy was supposed to be. No, this guy is running to this tree. This guy could have been camping in the smoke with his with the gas mask, waiting it out. That's a strat you could do, especially back in the old Warzone where you could chain multiple stim shots and stuff together to sit in the smoke. Or I keep calling it smoke, the gas. You get my point. This man could have ran to the same vehicle he did, right? This man could have ran to this trailer. This man could have stuck in the gas. You get my point. This guy could have been anywhere. He peeks the fucking bus or the truck and just he's right there. No dot. Nothing on the compass. All he had was a heartbeat sensor, and that was 2 or 3 seconds afterwards. Like, okay. It's almost like you saw where he was through the truck. So you knew the most advantageous spot was to just mantle on top of the truck and beam the guy. Which at this point, I'm like, that's 4 weird gunfights, and that's 4 weird instances where he just has too much information, where he just knows more than he's supposed to. Again, there is no dot. There is nothing on the compass. He's not hearing footsteps from that far away. So how he knew the guy was on the other side of the truck in the open field makes no sense. But that's not my favorite clip. My favorite clip is the one you're about to witness. This is my all-time favorite clip in this video. This is the clip that made me go, what the fuck am I watching? So I'm going to play this video, the entire clip through, and I'll go back and talk over it momentarily. But I'm going to give you the comms that they were having, right? Watch these comms and watch this and tell me if any of this looks weird at all.
Right here. Right here.
Down. Yep. I don't have AR. You don't have AR.
Where? I'm coming.
I marked him. I think you have AR.
He's
Yeah.
a Bruin. Oh, fuck.
I'm laying down.
Wait from the push.
Got one.
Nice.
Got 2. One guy.
One person. Oh, good shit. Oh, my God.
So did you hear the legendary call out his teammate gave? The legendary, absolute god tier MLG CDL level call out was, oh my god, they're over there. Do you know how fucking vague that is? Oh my god, people are over there. Where is over there? By the rocks? By the tree? By the other rock? By the other tree? Where are the people? Oh, Beastly, they're where he pinged them. Dog, the ping is over here. The people died over here. That is nowhere close to each other. The dude just popped a corner into a gunfight he had no information on. They weren't on the minimap. They weren't on the compass. Literally the only info this guy had was they're over there. And not just did he magically know where over there was, he fucking was aiming through them where the rock they were sitting behind. Oh, Beastly, you're just a hater. You got that uncle vision, bro. You got that unk eyes. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay, let me just do this in fucking super slow-mo, because I always love the comments of people who like will defend their people no matter what. I could show them literally beheading a chicken and they'd be like, nah, it's not animal cruelty. It's fine. He might have strangled that chicken with his bare hands, but it's fine. Like, I could show them the most, which, by the way, this clip alone is terrible, right? No minimap, right? Compass here. There you go. Dude peeks the fucking corner. Dude has next to no info. Dude peeks the corner and just, up there he is. By the way, this is at 0.25 speed. If you play this at full speed, it looks even worse. Beams this guy, shoots the moving target out of the sky, which is not, you know, that makes more sense. Him seeing the guy in the sky makes a ton more sense than him instantly seeing this guy peeking the corner. But then, so I'm gonna pause it here. Can you tell me in the comments what the fuck he's shooting at? I can't. There's no red dots in the minimap. There's nothing on the compass. There's no, it's not like he sees like a red gamer tag above their heads. What the fuck is he shooting at here? I'm going to keep the video paused just so you can type your comment. What is he shooting at here? He can see what he's shooting at. I can't. You can't. No one else can. I wonder why none of us can see what he sees. This guy either has the most busted, most OP Assassin's Creed Eagle vision of all time, or homie shooting red rectangles, and I'm pretty sure you can guess which one he's doing. So he mounts up and then starts putting bullets into the rock because the guy he's shooting is behind the rock at like what, 50, 75 meters, however far that is. Like, yeah, buddy, sure. You just so happen to micro peek. You just so happen to micro peek. And again, he's also shooting through tree branches, as you can see. He mounts up, shooting through tree branches, shooting a rock, gets a hit marker, meaning he shot the guy, gives up the gunfight to go help his friend. This is just hilarious. And it was at this moment of the video, the first time I watched it, I was like, oh yeah, all that other sus shit makes so much sense now. So again, here's the call out. His friend's begging for help. His friend's begging for help over here. That's where he pinged, was over here, right? Nowhere near where the people are. Nowhere near. He's begging for help, and his call out is there over there. Not saying which one of the 5,000 trees he's next to. Not saying which one of the 30,000 rocks he's next to. Not, literally, he's not giving any crucial information here. There is no they're directly in front of me. He said they're over there. Do you realize how fucking vague that is? While the gas is coming in too, by the way. So then he mounts up. Now I'm going to pause the video again. Now tell me, in this absolute sea of brown and beige, where the moving targets are. Tell me. There are two people on your screen right now that are moving. And we're playing goddamn Where's Waldo in this video. I don't care. Either this guy is shooting red rectangles, which means he's wall hacking, or he has the greatest vision of any human being on Earth. Actually, scratch that. He has the greatest vision of any living creature in this galaxy. He is staring at 20 trees and like 7 different rocks. And the call out is there over there. And as you can see, he mounted to the wall because he sees where they are. Now I'm going to unpause the video. The moment I unpause the video, these two people are going to appear and then die. Watch. Unpause, mounts up. Yep. And then boom, they move from behind this rock, and the guy on the left's getting gunned. The guy then this guy moves into the right of the rock because if homie went to the left and he's getting shot, I'm gonna try going to the right. The guy goes to the right, goes behind another rock, and then gets beamed down. Yeah. He just so happened to magically know they were behind that rock that was like 30 to 40 meters away, and was pre-firing them as they were deciding to run and make a break for it. He just so happened to know when they were going to run from behind that rock. And not just that he happened to know where they were going to run to, but also where they were to run from. Again, it wasn't like the guy gave a crazy call out there. There wasn't a UAV. They weren't on the compass. Clearly, he's not using his headphones from being a billion miles away. Oh, Beastly, he is that gamer knowledge, bro. He is that gamer sense. Dog, there was 5 different rocks they could have been hiding behind. You're telling me he just so happens to pick the right rock? And by the way, this wasn't even his gunfight. This was his teammate's gunfight. His gunfight was on the other side of the building. So he, Lucky, had even less info to go on than his teammate did. Make it make sense. This wasn't his gunfight. He shows up late to the gunfight and just immediately knows which rock they're hiding behind and then guns them down the moment they decide to move. Either this guy has the greatest, like, this guy has ocular powers the fucking Uchiha would be jealous of. Like, what is this? Either he's shooting red rectangles or he is the greatest visual prowess of any anime character of all time. Like, what is going on? And by the way, look at this peak gaming posture right here. This man has a gaming chair and he's super slump into his seat, just like staring at something. So count it. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 different times in this one video. This guy had information that he didn't have, that wasn't normal, that he used to kill people. It wasn't about a headset. It wasn't like he had an advanced UAV. It wasn't like he had dots on the compass. You got to be able to rationally explain how 5 different times in this one video, he just so happened to know where the people were perfectly. He just so happened to know. And we're probably like 30 minutes into this video at this point. Keep all of this in mind when I show you a later video of this guy. Later video. He has the most eagle godlike vision right now. But when I show you clips of this guy playing in regular lobbies with regular people, he struggles to go positive. Spoiler alert, he has a terrible KD. This guy who magically knows where everybody's at now eventually struggles to use his ears and thumbs at the same time. It's insane. And here's the lobby, by the way. The final tallies: 37, 35, 26, 28. Insane lobby they were in. It's almost like they had an advantage other players didn't have. And he just so happens to play on PC. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, cough, cough, if you know what I'm saying. So then he has this next video on his channel we're going to cover from 3 years ago. So this is a little more modern video. Here's the video titled How to 1v4 Solo Squad in Warzone Part 2. Now, I shouldn't have to explain this to you, but you don't solo squad in normal lobbies against normal players where you're not abusing SBMM to make the lobby much, much, much easier for yourself, like what Nav does, like what Swag does, like what most of these fraudulent Warzone content creators do. They 2-box, they reverse boost. So yes, he's engaging in 1v4s and he's winning most of them because the people he's playing against have the combined IQ of Patrick Star. Like, you no disrespect to those players, but like, he's in a bot lobby. That's why he's able to 1v4 people. You can't replicate what he's doing with settings or with class loadouts or any other bullshit he's going to sell you because you're not 2-boxing like him. You're not reverse boosting like him. You're not abusing the system like him. So you will never get numbers like him. It's really quite simple. But I'm going to show this clip. This is from his video 1v4 Solo Squads, Part 2. All right. I'm going to show you this clip. And tell me if this clip doesn't have the exact same energy as the previous 5 clips did that I showed you from a video a year prior, right? There's a year time gap between the first video I showed you and this video. But notice how it keeps pretty much the same energy, right?
Stopping power is your positioning. Right now it's gonna be my design, so I'm gonna pop this a little bit early. I have a bounty up in here, and I'm gonna slide in. He put a claymore down. Let me just rewind that real quick. So if you guys can't hear, he puts a claymore down. You always want to listen for the audio cues. He put one down. Okay. He put another one down. C4 mine, something along those tacticals where he's now blocking a doorway. I got to be careful as I approach this fight. It sounded like he put it on the right-hand side, so I'm assuming this left-hand side's open. I'm going to jump in. Proximity mine's already put on the floor. Both players have their back to me. Now I can either A, disengage, lay down, take the hit, and re-engage in the fight, or, because I have both players behind me, try to take the fight as fast as possible. I'm going to get one, not going for the full kill, and going for the second guy right there.
So, you expect me to believe that this man has the ability to not have ocular jutsu of that of the Uchihas, but he also has fucking sonar hearing like bats. Huh. You know, I'm not that, you know, I'm not the most intelligent guy in the world. By no means am I a rocket scientist, but I kind of find it suspicious that you see everything and hear everything all the time. I find that a wee bit sus. So I'm gonna, you know, replay this and muting him because I don't want to hear his ugly voice any more than I have to. But I will repause it for you. It was about here, around this portion, where he quote unquote he hears someone plant a claymore or any other tactical equipment, right? He hears that. He specifically says in the video, it's by a door. So then he runs around the corner. Actually, I think it's right here. I think he hears it here. Doesn't matter. But he literally tells you, I heard equipment. It's by a door. He said it, and I quote, it sounds like it's on the right side of the door. Not just can this dude hear that equipment's being used from 25 meters away, but he can specifically pinpoint what area in which the equipment's being placed. Sure. Then he says, you know, it's by a door. He runs through a door. And he's like, okay, well, they're not looking this way. And he gets a free kill. Yeah, it almost feels as if you knew they weren't looking that way, so that's why you pushed them that way. It's almost like if you paired the previous 5 clips with this clip, it's almost like you knew which way they were facing, hence why you went all the way around the building and went from the back to shoot them in the back. Again, it's almost as though you have more information than everyone else always seems to have all the time. Funny how that works. But again, the dude triggered a landmine like he supposedly heard, which, by the way, if you heard, this is like not relevant to the video. This is just beastly yapping here. But if I heard them plant a mine of any variety, any equipment by any door, I don't think I would then, like an idiot, charge through the fucking door like an elephant. What the fuck? Like, if I heard them plant equipment, I'm going to open the door, shoot it, or throw my own equipment in there to blow it up and then engage. Supposedly, if you follow his own rules and his own logic, he heard the mine, but yet like a dumbass, he runs through the door, eats the damage from the mine, and guns these 2 bots down from behind. Like, even if you do follow his own logic, it still doesn't make sense. It's not adding up here. Whether you follow his logic or, you know, normal players' logic, it's still, things aren't making sense here. Like, if you, again, theoretically heard the mines get placed, why would you then run through the door wanting to then have the fight? Why? It just doesn't make sense. Also, these poor players, they were so focused on this door. They weren't even aware there was a door behind them, which I guess they were aware because they put a mine there. But if you have 2 people, one person should be watching one door and the other person should be watching the other door, not both of them staring at the same door. But hey, Beastly, that's just 6 examples of you finding weird clips from his past videos of him just miraculously having godlike vision and godlike hearing. There's no other clips you have possibly of him just knowing too much, right? There's no way you have more than 6 examples, right? You guys know the drill. I'm going to show you this next clip. I will play it through and then go back and explain it afterwards.
But there's still a loadout here. So I'm going to go ahead and land on my loadout. I'm going to go ahead and go for Ghost. Now, I thought I was going for Ghost. So I actually run another perk here. This gives me a high alert. I didn't know this until later, but high alert's actually not a bad perk. It's not a bad perk at all, especially when solo quadding. Solo solos definitely highly recommend, but this is one where I'm picking up a solo.
So he's commentating over his own gameplay. This actually makes me laugh, like, you know, just saying this out loud. He's commentating over his gameplay. Again, this is supposed to be a tips and trick video where you follow his like general rules, his guides, his info, yada, yada, yada. And that's how you improve, right? You follow his bullshit tactics and his bullshit ways to improve. This absolute dingus didn't even realize until rewatching his gameplay that he gave the wrong advice. He literally said, you should use Ghost. But then in the gameplay he's using high alert. This liar couldn't even keep his story straight for the video. But this is the guy who supposedly has godlike hearing and godlike vision. The same person who can just see people from a mile away in a sea of brown and beige couldn't remember that he chose a different perk build. Funny. And then to make himself seem less of an idiot, he then, well, actually, high alert's not that bad of a perk. Dog. There is no argument between Ghost and high alert. Ghost is by far better. With how often there's UAV spams in all of Warzone, Ghost is a billion times better. But because, you know, you're trying to piddle paddle your bullshit to, you know, your young audience, which is, spoiler alert, most of his audience is like 12-year-olds. You can just, you know, it was a mental error. No. He was going to tell you, he's going to give you a bullshit tip about Ghost being amazing. But then he realized, oh no, I can't give that tip because the gameplay is me using high alert. Shit, I'm not going to lie and make some bullshit up to then go along with what I was saying. So that is extremely funny.
But there's still a loadout here. So I'm going to go ahead and land on my loadout. I'm going to go ahead and go for Ghost. Now, I thought I was going for Ghost. So I actually run another perk here. This gives me a high alert. I didn't know this until later, but high alert's actually not a bad perk. It's not a bad.
See that? Like, he was going to give you an info drop about Ghost. And realize I can't say that because high alert. So he can't even follow his own tips. He can't even listen to himself. It's insane how just these people make the most bullshit content. And so many people just believe it and they eat it up. And I will never make fun of people for believing this shit because most people don't know any better. They're ignorant to the situation. They're ignorant to the nonsense these people are you know, pitter-pattering. It's sad, and I will never make fun of his audience for not knowing better. But I will always make fun of people like him who should know damn right better that straight up lying to people, manipulating people for years is a psychopath behavior. Don't do that. It's not hard. It's not hard to be honest. It's really not. And so then we got, I don't even know. What is it? The 12th example, 10th example? I don't know. This is just... Watch this clip, and what's funny is when you watch this clip, you're gonna be like, Beastly, there's nothing wrong with this clip, but then I'm gonna show you in slow-mo just how fucked up this clip is. You're gonna be like, oh my god, I didn't see it the first time. Just watch this.
10. I have a player coming in this way, gonna get a tag. That's 1, 2 tags. Player's gonna rotate left hand side, get that pre-aim going, land a couple shots on that. Now I'm gonna think he cuts into this little doorway crevice right here, but he ends up actually running outside that door. They're gonna end up taking a fight. Now a second team's coming in, and there's gonna be a third team.
So I am about 99% sure none of you guys saw it. But luckily for you guys who didn't see it, your boy Beastly has you, so I can assist you and show you what you didn't see. So he's pushing. As you can see, there is no dots on the compass. There is no dots on the minimap. So he is pushing this area off pure instinct. No info, no UAV. He pops the heartbeat. Bam! Gets a signal. But don't worry, we're going to play-by-play this shit. So he gets a signal. So as like last time I covered the heartbeat sensor, this time this is going to be a northeast. Yeah, this is mostly east, but northeast general cardinal direction from his location. Really simple. The north line right here syncs up north with the arrow. So if this guy is right here, that means in this room, if you can see on the minimap, the player is approximately, actually I lied. The player is approximately over here. Because it's not at the end of the heartbeat. So if it was on the end, it'd be like over here, but it's not at the like in the super close heartbeat. So it wouldn't be right here. It'd be about here, this middle third area, because it's in the middle of the heartbeat. And so the heartbeat's either over here, or over here. This is close. This is far. This is medium. So it'd be about here. As you can see, there's nothing on the compass, nothing on the minimap. All he has is this one dot of a player who's approximately 25 meters away. He then turns around, pre-aims, and bam, you see a player, and you're thinking to yourself, hey, Beastly, that was the person that was on the heartbeat sensor, wasn't it? Right? He saw a person on the heartbeat sensor. There he is. Well, what if I told you this was a different player? Now, look in the top left of the minimap. You see the red dot over there and the area I was talking about earlier on the heartbeat sensor? That's actually the person he picked up with the heartbeat. This other person he's shooting wasn't the person on his heartbeat sensor. This person, he got a ping off the heartbeat sensor, turned around, and just miraculously knew this guy was here. Now, you could argue with this clip. Basically, it's the guy's like 10 meters away. You could hear that with headphones. And unlike the previous, 7 or 8 clips that you couldn't use with headphones, this one, you could make the argument he's using his headphones. However, given the fact this guy, as you'll see later in the video, can't differentiate between left and right, no. What this was, he got a ping on the heartbeat sensor, turned around, and by the way, like, talk about a sea of brown and beige. This area is just a bunch of brown and gray. Like, this is just insane that he just peeks the corner and just there's the guy and he beams him. But the irony is it wasn't even the guy who was on his heartbeat. As you can see, the guy on his heartbeat was right here. This is a whole different player, because as you can see, he's here. So the player he's shooting at's right here. This player over here is a whole different player. Beams him to, actually, not really beams him. He misses a bunch. And the dude, the jackass, wasn't even aware. Mr. Godlike Awareness, Mr. I hear and see everything, wasn't even aware there was a red dot 2 inches to his left who was shooting the same person he was. They were both shooting the same target. So you expect me to believe he has the godlike awareness to just always know and see and hear everything, except for when there's a guy 2 inches to his left. Right? You guys saw the red dot. The red dot was literally right next to where he's standing right now. It's on the second floor to his left. Like, it's just, how many examples do I have to show you of this self-proclaimed Warzone god, this absolute Warzone messiah, this guy who just always knows where everyone's at constantly, of him doing weird shit that just doesn't make, like, this clip doesn't make sense. Like, no matter how you watch this clip, it doesn't, the person he's shooting is not the person on the minimap. This person right here, because again, I'll go back and show you. Look at the heartbeat. The heartbeat is mostly to his east, but it's a little northeast, about 25 meters away. His arrow, 25 meters, would be about right here. That's exactly where you see the red dot. So this guy that he basically guns down wasn't even the person on the mini, like that they were different people. There were 2 people in this room. It's crazy. But to his audience, all they see is, oh my god, a guy on heartbeat sensor, and then he gunned someone down. Okay, must have been the same guy, but they were 2 different people. They weren't even the same person. At this moment, I was like, dude, you can shove all of this up your ass. You're so full of shit. You are such a phony. You are such a fraud. You are a compulsive liar, that not just do you lie to your audience, but you lie to the Warzone community by, like, even pretending for a moment you're a legit player. And we're going to get momentarily where he sees all this shit. Momentarily, you guys are going to see how it's kind of adds up. But yeah, that's all I'm going to show you from these last, like, what, 7, not even 7, what is that, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, I just showed you like 9 examples, 9 or 10 examples from 2 different streams or 2 different videos from 2 different years. And if you overlay the gameplay, they're pretty identical. He somehow knew information on people he shouldn't have info on. They're not on the compass. They are not on the minimap. Sometimes he has the excuse of the heartbeat sensor, but even then, that's not fully accurate. So, explain it. Explain to me how you just always know not just where people are, but where they're going and how to find them. It's crazy. So this next video is going to be from a live stream, a 7-hour live stream titled "The New #1 Solo versus Quad Rebirth Island Player, Lucky Chamu." It's a 7-hour live stream, you guys. 7 hours. As you guys can see, he's on the Rebirth Island find a match. Here's his friends list. Here's his face. Here's him, right? He's by himself. Homie's by himself. I'm going to do 0.75, makes it a little faster. There's a weird facial zoom in. Talking to chat, doing other nonsense, which, by the way, why are you covering your screen if you're a legit player? Yeah, this guy is, glad we have him muted because this guy is howling. Boom! Do you see it? Chat, do you see it? YouTube audience, do you see it? To the, like, 4 of you guys who watch past the 20-minute mark. Do you see it? So, homie just went from solo queue to having a partner. Do I think it's a coincidence that homie does a zoom in on his face, hides the screen, and reads chat, and miraculously moments later, he just so happens to get a partner? But that's a coincidence, right? He's just telling chat, you got to visualize your success, man. In order to be like me, to make money like me, do everything like me, you got to visualize it. He does a bunch of bullshit like that, like, speak it into the universe type of nonsense. Which, by the way, if you believe in that, no shame to you. However, I think being a compulsive liar and frauding people out of their hard-earned money and making them believe you're a legit player, he gets warrant to get made fun of. So, really simple. If you don't want to get made fun of by me and have me call you stupid in 13 different languages and 14 different creative ways, don't be a compulsive liar. It's not that difficult. It's really not. The bar seems to be very high nowadays, but it's really not. If you're just, I don't care if you're a great player or if you're, a bad player like me, just don't lie. I don't know why we have to, sell people different 15 pyramid schemes, 13 different, buy this book, buy this audio book, buy this, go, donate to me $100,000 and I'll give you, no, it's bullshit. That's all it is. It's complete and utter bullshit. And then guess what? He gets into a game, which is like, no crap, Beastly, he was going to eventually find a game. He got a game. Still talking, still yapping, still dancing and he joins the game. You can see he's looking away, doing weird shit in the background. He's going to die from free falling a couple times. He's still reading chat. Yada, yada, yada. I should have actually probably sped this up to 2 times speed because Jesus Christ, this is taking forever. And just like that, he started by himself. He did a zoom up of his face, had a partner, got into a game, and as you will see right here, he's by himself. Where did your partner go? Why did you have to awkwardly zoom in on your face and read chat and do a bunch of shenanigans when you were playing a video game, dog? Why does the #1 solo versus quads player in the world on Warzone got to cover his screen in 2 box? Why do all these absolute narcissists, these absolute wannabe pros, like the Jolos, the Knobs, the Lucky Chamus, why do all of these people who want to be the best, they don't want to actually play the best? It's kind of funny how they work psychologically. All of these guys want to be the best like no one ever was, but they only ever want to play bots. I've never heard of any competitive atmosphere. I don't care if you're talking video games, if you're talking sports, if you're talking fucking underwater basket weaving, I don't care. I have never seen someone who ever aspired to be the best at anything in life only play worse opponents. I have never seen that. I'm not a big chess guy. I suck at chess, but I've never seen any chess master in the world beat up on baby players all day. I have never seen no NBA player get to the NBA by dunking on high school kids all day. That's not how it works. Good people who are good at something don't have to dunk on the less fortunate and the lesser. That's not how that works. The people who do this are the arrogant, narcissistic, psychopaths who want to just have their ego stroked 99% of the time. It's disgusting behavior. But, what can you ask for with Warzone content creators? What can you ask for? It's Warzone after all. So, hey, I wanted to take us on a little adventure. I wanted to go see if we could figure out who that mystery person was that he was hiding the screen for, who just so happened to randomly join. I wonder if it was maybe another one of those situations where it's like one apple, two bear. Shout out Jamal Biscuit, the GOAT. You know, I wanted to go see if we could track down who this mystery specimen was who joined his game and then magically disappeared when the match started, you know? And so I'm watching his live stream titled Addressing the Drama, which don't even get me started on that. It's LOL. But, he was invited to play with a guy by the name of My Brother. Huh, I wonder who My Brother is. Chamu. I wonder who that is. And he accepts it. Gets to the game. There it is. My Brother. Well, he must be playing with his brother. There's no way he would name the account My Brother to not actually play with his brother, right? Right? No way. So the reason why this clip is extra funny in the same stream, by the way, the exact same stream, the reason why this clip is extra funny is because he's away on a piss break. He can't stop the screen. He can't stop it. He's away. As you can see, he's not here. He's AFK. And so him and his little brother are in a match. And this time, unlike every other previous example I've showed you, this time, little brother, he can't back the bot account out because he's not here. As you can see, he's texting on his phone, took a pee break, yada, 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 about to come back momentarily. So yeah, we got the chance to see that he accepted an invite from an account by the name of My Brother. I wonder if that's the actual brother he keeps playing with. But unlike the previous clips I've shown you where the guy's there, he zooms in on his face, excuse me, does that first, gets an invite from a mystery person, and then bam, loads into a match with them, and then bam, they disappear. Funny. And now, as we can see, because he's not here, if you don't know why he's not here in this part of the stream, he went to go take a pee break. He had to go release the Kraken, if you know what I'm saying. Anyways, homie had to go piss. And because he wasn't actually here to kick his bot account out of the game that he's been two-boxing with, the bot is still here. So we can now, with almost 1,000,000% certainty, that My Brother is the two-boxing account that you see in all of his videos and his live streams, and when he zooms in on his face and he then kicks it out. It's right there, bottom left corner, My Brother, right there. This time, though, we couldn't kick him out because he's not on the controller to actually back the bot account out. So, go figure. So this is actually something I wasn't originally going to put in the video, but I feel like this would actually make the video a lot better, so I'm going to do it. Shout out to the person named Helix, who's obviously a supporter of his, who likes his content. Helix sent him a message on through the, Activision, accounts thing. Helix sent him a whisper saying, "You too good for two box though." Meaning, how I interpret this message anyways, is that it's a fan of his saying that, man, you're too good to be two boxing all day. You're too good to be beating up on bots all day, which that's kind of the irony of the illusion here. He's really not that good. He's really not that good at the game. But when you play against literally bronze players all day, or people who struggle, whether they have physical disabilities, mental disabilities, whether they're just old gamers, whether they're brand new COD players, whatever the reasoning is, they're in the protected bracket. I don't know why I always gotta say this every video. Every video, I always gotta say the same thing. Regardless of why they're down there, they're still down there for a reason. You shouldn't be implanting yourself down there playing bots all day. What is wrong with you? How much of a terrible garbage human do you gotta be to enjoy that? And so that's how I, anyways, interpreted the message. Let me know in the comments below how you feel. But no, this guy Helix literally says, "You're too good to be two boxing though." But I believe Helix had his little bubble popped, seeing on stream his Twitch, by the way, of him two boxing live, and having the entire reality of how good this POS is, which he's not that good to begin with, but how good he is, come to a crumbling halt when, oh my god, he's a two boxer. It's like, yeah, no shit, little Timmy, aka Helix in this example. But this wasn't going to recently make the video. I just, skipping through the stream, saw this. I was like, huh, must be fate or karma or some higher power. I don't know. Pretty embarrassing that you got people in your own community who are like embarrassed that you are two boxing, which is sad that they don't even know that you are two boxing. Because to me, it's obvious you are, but I guess to a lot of people, it's not. So go figure. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, after a whopping 2 streams and an unimaginable amount of YouTube videos, we end up finding out that the account titled My Brother is the name of his bot account. So there it is, right there. For all the people who were somehow holding hope that this guy wasn't a cheating piece of garbage, there you go. Of course, he's playing with a level 3 bot account. Of course he is. Of course, that's the name of the account that he always gets invited to. That's always the host. That he, goes into solo quads to then play these games. Then he magically backs out and he plays, terrible competition. Now, I'm not going to show you any gameplay of his because, as you guys know, the golden rule on my channel is I don't show gameplay of 2boxing because I think it's absolutely boring. I think it's incredibly intellectually unstimulating to watch gameplay of someone shooting people who are struggling to pick up loot caches or struggling to move their legs and their torso at different times. I don't find that gameplay very fun. So I don't show you guys the gameplay. But this guy routinely drops 30 plus bombs in Warzone. I don't care what game mode you're playing. Dropping 30 to 40 to 50 kills per game is you can't do that in normal lobbies. The only way you do that is by manipulating matchmaking, manipulating skill-based matchmaking, playing with bot accounts, and cheating the system. So go fucking figure. So I know he won't do this, but I do because I actually care about my audience and I actually care about the people who watch my content and who actually support me, unlike this piece of garbage. If you have epilepsy or anything of that nature, please, viewer discretion is advised here. This is the thing you see on YouTube. I showed you what the Twitch POV looked like when he hides the screen. This is what the YouTube POV looks like. And it's a bunch of flashing images. So if you suffer from epilepsy, please don't watch the segment of the video. Just watch this. I have this sped up, by the way, because he sits 2, 3, 4 minutes in the screen. I have this sped up ×2 speed. But yeah, it's just a bunch of flashing pictures, images, and colors. This is what you see when he's 2boxing. This is the screen he has when he's covering it. He has 2 different screen overlays for different platforms. And as you'll see, he goes from having nobody in his lobby to then not just finding somebody, but actually being in a game. Yep. But hey, Beastly, did you catch it? Did you see it? It was pretty fast. It was really fast. Did you see it? Don't worry, I'll do it in super slow-mo, just so you guys can see it live like I did. So he gets into a game. He's falling. Right, he's picking the class, right? This is the warm-up area that he's in Warzone. He doesn't care, he's reading chat. Bam! Look what that says in blue font. My friend disconnected. Now, the streams I showed you was a couple days ago. This stream is from 2 months ago. Meaning, this absolute rodent, this absolute piece of human garbage, this absolute just terrible person in both the COD community, the YouTube community, and just the general populace. The My Brother account he renamed 2 months ago, or actually, I have it the other way around. The original name of the account was My Friend. And I guess so many people caught on that it was his 2box account that he renamed it like Seabass does. All these chronic 2boxers get so tired of people pointing out in the comments and pointing out in their live streams the name of their bot accounts that they frequently will change the name of them. And that's exactly what this loser did. Dog's original bot account name was My Friend, that he then changed to My Brother. Now, I'm not going to track down the entire fucking history of the name of this bot account, but I would assume if he changed the name twice in 2 months, that he's probably changed it more times in the past. So that's just how these absolute, rodents work. They find in any corner they can. They just, destroy whatever they can. It's so sad. It's so sad how much damage this does to not just the COD community, but the gaming and YouTube community and streaming community in general. This paints an unfair image that normal people can never attain because they do not do the awful methods required to get there. It's absolute garbage. But yeah, My Brother was actually once named My Friend before he changed his name. Go figure. And while we're, making fun of this guy for every way I can, he's also associated with Swag. So go figure. It seems like Swag, Korean Savage, and Dismo, and all of these wonderful, wonderful pieces of human trash always somehow find a way of getting in all of these friend groups with all of these horrible people who do all the same garbage things to not just the COD community, but to their own community where they lie and manipulate and absolute beat the crap out of their own people. Go figure. So of course he's friends with Swag because what is that old people saying? 2 peas in the pot or whatever. Go fucking figure. Also, shout out to my friend, aka my brother. At one point in time, he was a level 1 account. Now we've seen him all grown up with a level 3 account. But yeah, there it is right there. So then we get to probably my favorite part of this video. Is I hate, by the way, this has to be my least favorite content on YouTube, right? If you make money, right? If you make money and want to show it off, cool. That's fine. Whatever. You do you. But I think there is nothing more, personally, I think there's nothing more a pretentious, pompous prick could do than flex his $10,000 gaming setup. Post a YouTube video flexing on all the people and flexing his gaming. I don't know why people like Bradders himself and Swag and all these people do this. I don't really get the entertainment here of seeing people who are extravagantly wealthy spend money on very expensive things. I don't know why people enjoy that. I don't, but whatever. It's not my content, whatever. However, I can use this to represent and or support my own things. So one man's downfall is another man's rise. Go figure.
Starting with the heart of the set, we got my gaming PC here. I'm not techie, but I know it's got like the best of the best 4090, i17 45 2X. Listen, shout out my boy Paradox Total Lucky. He's the one who hooked us up with all my PCs since day one. And then all the specifics will be down in the description. You guys want to know exactly what I'm rocking. I'm sorry, I don't really know, but I do know we got a bit.
So I'm gonna pause a lot during this and just break this down. So remember the guy a couple of years ago that had eagle vision and like bat-like super, Daredevil-esque hearing? He doesn't know what the fuck's in his computer. I'm going to repeat that. The same guy that had godlike visuals where he could just see everything that moved and hear everything that he needed to hear doesn't know what's in his PC. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't know what's in my PC either. I'm not a PC person. I play on a console for a reason. I'm PC stupid. However, my brother in Christ, you can't pretend to be the world's greatest player and fucking not know what's in your own PC and have a fucking promo code that for other people to use your PC. Dog, you don't even know what's in your own PC, but yet you're gonna sell it and market it to your audience? That's insane. So yeah, he has a lot of fancy toys, which is not surprising, go figure. But dog is an expensive computer. Can you care to explain to me why you have a PS5 right next to it? Dude has thousands and thousands of dollars invested into a gaming PC. Why do you have a PS5? And I swear to God, if I get one single comment from a single person where they're like, Beastly, they have a gaming PC, but not all your games go on gaming PC, so you gotta shut the fuck up. Dog, there's like maybe, if we're being generous, like 10 to 15 games that are either hard stuck on Xbox or hard stuck on a PlayStation. Most of these modern games are made for PC. So don't feed me this bullshit of, well, actually, no. He has a thousands plus thousands of dollars worth of investment into a gaming PC. He does not need this PS5. He has this PS5 for 2-boxing, as shown plenty of times earlier. And he makes the bullshit excuse in his video. I have this PS5 because games come out sooner. No, they don't. No, they don't. That New Zealand trick that everybody does on COD every year to fly to New Zealand to play the game a day early, that works on PC as well. Whether you do the New Zealand trick on PC or console, it works all the same. And if you're not referring to the New Zealand trick of just flighting, a day in advance to play the game, there are no games nowadays that release early on consoles and not PlayStation or not PCs. Like, you can, again, pitter patter all of this bullshit to somebody else. I'm not buying it. I'm not going to believe this bullshit and these lies. That's not how this works. You have that fucking console 3 inches to your right to 2-box. Don't fucking lie to me. Don't lie to everyone else. Actually, you know what? Keep lying to your audience. That's fine. Eventually, it'll be self-destructive, and eventually your own community is going to eat you alive, which is what happened to, X-Pro and Paradox and so many other wonderful absolute frauds. But Yeah, no, you're absolute full of shit if you think I'm believing the lie that is, oh, I need the PlayStation because games come out earlier and there's exclusives. Lick my nuts.
Bit of a PS5 here. Let me know in the comments. You guys a PS5 or Xbox player? Either way, you're getting put down by me. But I usually rock with this when a new Call of Duty comes.
Ain't that ironic? He just insulted both audiences. He just asked the stupid comment question, hey, you want Xbox or PlayStation? LOL, you're both peasants. You're worse than me. But yet, you also own that console. So, which is it, my brother in Christ? Are we all console gamers, just all peasants? Or do you just selectively choose when we are and aren't peasants? How does that work? Because I definitely, if I was against something, I definitely wouldn't own it myself, personally. Maybe it's just because I have morals and beliefs, but just saying, if you, for a PC Master Race guy, it's kind of weird you kind of own them both, and you know.
Here, let me know in the comments. You guys a PS5 or Xbox player? Either way, you're getting put down by me. But I usually rock with this when a new Call of Duty comes out because it's usually on console first. So I got this plugged in, ready to go. And then my second PC, we got the streaming PC down here. Nothing too beefy. Again, I'll put that in the comments below.
Yeah, that's right. You heard him correct. He has a $3,000+ gaming PC. He has a $500+ PS5, and he has a second PC that's just for streaming. What is the point of the PlayStation? He has a streaming PC and a gaming PC. What is the point of the PlayStation aside from two boxing? What is the point?
Before that, let's talk about my other equipment. We got my monitor here with the Lucky Ones merch. So if you haven't copped already, make sure you guys cop. One tip and trick I'll give you guys if you're doing your setup, if you have more than one monitor, have only one.
Okay, so I'm not a mathematician, nor have I ever claimed to be a scientist of any variety. However, can someone please explain to me why he needs 3 monitors at once? Obviously, one's for gameplay. As you can see, he has Black Ops 6, specifically the store, loaded up on the game, right? One's for gameplay. Makes sense. The next one is obviously for chat. Whether it's Twitch chat, YouTube chat, whatever. Obviously, it's for chat. What the fuck is the third monitor for? I'm just... Anyone? Explain in the comments. What is a third monitor? Do you have a third monitor just to, like, play music and YouTube videos in the background while you stream and play games? Do you really need all 3 of these monitors to do what you do? Really? Also, why is one of your monitors like in a fugly position, right? He has the other 2, you know, monitors in a flat, normal position, but the one on his left is in a vertical position, which looks very fugly. I would presume the one that's, you know, slanted the way it is, the vertical font monitor, is for chat. So then what's the other one for? Right? One's for gameplay, one's for chat. What is the third one for? I don't know. Just, that's kind of weird. Why do you need 3 monitors to stream off? Why? To me, it just doesn't make any sense. However, if he's 2-boxing, right? If you turn the PlayStation on, obviously you can't invite someone without having a monitor there to then get into the game, to play the game, to invite yourself to 2-box. So that's why he has a third monitor. Is for the 2-boxing, or it's for the cheating. Take your pick. Either that third monitor is for the wall hacks you have, or you used to have, or it's for 2-boxing. Probably both. Realistically, the answer is probably both, but take your pick. Why do you have 3? What is the relevancy of having 3? Obviously, one's for chat, and obviously one's for actually, like, you know, playing the game. That those 2 make complete sense. Why? What does the third one do? Huh. And if you look at how it's angled, all 3 of them are angled to where he can see, have easy access at all 3 of them. The gaming one's in the middle. This one's over here. So clearly he has them designed for ease of access. So then what are you looking at while you're streaming? What? It doesn't make sense. Either way, it doesn't logically make sense.
one beefy monitor. This is my gaming monitor, Alienware 1440, 240 hertz, something like that. This is the only monitor that costs over $100. This is like $800. This one and this one right here, it cost me like $50. It's what I read chat on when I'm streaming or uploading YouTube videos on. You don't need nothing crazy. That's all a tip for you guys. Got my camera right here. This is the, oh my God, bro. And that's what I have.
And then this is probably my favorite part of the entire setup video. This absolute rodent, this absolute piece of garbage has not one, not two, not three, but four. Count it, 4 foot pedals. Beastly. What is the point of him having 4 foot pedals? So what those foot pedals are for is for activating and deactivating stuff. So essentially, when people were cheating a long time ago, back in the day, there was like a switch, right? Like, if you guys ever heard of the phrase lag switch, right? It was a literal switch you could pull to like mess with the connection of the lobby. Think of it like that. You would press a button or a hotkey or something, and it would basically, when you press it, it would activate the thing. People used to have those on their desks. However, when streamers and YouTubers would get caught, you know, why do you keep clicking that button? They then moved it to their controller. People got caught clicking buttons on their controller, and then they moved them to the pads and these other areas. Basically, you want the button that you're clicking to turn off and on your cheats to be out of the way where nobody can see it. Thus, why you use foot paddles. Foot paddles are essentially used for like racing games and all sorts of other, you know, normal ways. But what these rodents do is, we'll just take wall hacks for an easy example. Let's say this right here, this box right here, this foot pedal, he clicks it, it turns it on. So you can see wall hacks. You can see where people are. You can see the red, you know, outlines, yada, yada, yada. To make him appear less suspicious, he then re-clicks the foot pedal to turn the cheats off. Get it? So it's a way of basically cheating, but by turning your cheats off and on. Because if you keep your cheats on 24/7, it gets really obvious when you're cheating. And obviously these people are gonna cheat because they gotta maintain some nonsense image that they built off a empire of lies and manipulating people. So he even cracks jokes in this video multiple times about, see, I'm a hacker, guys, LOL, look at this USB drive I have, that's filled, that's my Cronus, right? He cracks so many jokes in this video, and to me it was just the most pretentious shit ever. The reason why he was cracking these jokes and making fun of people who call him a cheater is because when you're actually cheating, the best thing to do is to call yourself a cheater and play with it like a joke, right? If you just to give you a real life example of what this is the equivalent of, if you find out one day that we're going to take a random person and we're going to name this random person, I don't know, Ryan Reynolds. If you find out one day that Ryan Reynolds was cheating on his wife, that would be bad. However, if you're a news outlet or any one of the, you know, MTV, Drama Alert, yada, 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 you could make a lot of money off selling that information and getting paid. And also ruining this hypothetical guy by the name of Ryan Reynolds can destroy his entire life. However, if before, you know, that information drops, Ryan Reynolds goes on Twitter and says, hey, I cheated on my wife, it takes the expose, the impact, everything that was going to happen and just destroys it. Another example of this for all my older people in my audience, it's the equivalent of what Eminem did in his movie 8 Mile, right? He insulted himself before the other guy could, and it took the sting out of everything the other guy could say because Eminem already said it about himself. That's what these guys are doing. They make fun and laugh of people who call them a cheaters and make them as quote-unquote jokes to make the actual cheating part less serious because people just get used to laughing at it. But no normal human being has 4 foot pedals under their fucking desk. Having a singular foot pedal looks really bad. Having 4 of them is indefensible. You can't defend that. So explain to me. Explain to me why you have all 4 of those. What are those connected to? Are they connected to your ring lights so you can turn your ring lights off and on? I doubt it. Are they connected to your microphone so you could like hot mic yourself? I doubt it. Most people use keyboard commands for that. What are these connected to? Are they your like transition button where you step on it and it transitions from one scene to another? I doubt it. Again, that's what hot commands are for on your keyboard. I don't know what logical purpose these would serve aside from the obvious. which is you step on them to turn something on and off that's not supposed to be seen by the average person, hence why they're under your desk on the floor. Like, this is just disgusting. It's disgusting.
Back with. People say, Lucky Chamu, we got a foot pedal. Lucky Chamu, I don't got a foot pedal. I got 4 with duct tape on the wires too. It's dirty down there. And then right here we got the Tim the Tatman exclusive HyperX keyboard. I went the keyboard instead of the controller because I don't want to play like him. I got my Cronus scripts right here, man. Listen, if we ever plug this in, Activision shouldn't be at my door and we're all going down. Okay, so that's why that don't get plugged in.
So yeah, that was what a great video, man. What a great video to add fuel to my fire that I'm totally stoking right now. This next compilation I'm going to show you is games when he's not 2-boxing, where he's not cheating, he's not 2-boxing, he is doing nothing faulty. This stream is titled My New Warzone Movement Update Countdown. He's playing Shipment with a shotgun. I'm not going to show you the gameplay because this video is already long enough. If you want to add 5 hours to it, go watch the gameplay yourself. I'm not going to. I'm going to show you the highlights of what happens when Mr. I have perfect vision, I have perfect hearing. Because remember the video from a couple years ago, right? This man could see everything, every beige and brown silhouette, every brown and black silhouette. He could see everything, hear everything, know everything, right? Well, Mr. I can see and hear everything, and Shipment with a shotgun went 37 and 29, which is a 1.28 KD. That's a slightly above average KD. But given the fact you're using a shotgun on Shipment, I'm going to dox you points. Because if you use a shotgun on Shipment or Stink House or Shoot House or any of these other really, really, really small maps, you're a bitch. Right? I'm gonna be honest. The fact he barely went positive using a shotgun on one of the smallest, if not the smallest map in COD history speaks volumes to just how absolute dog shit he is. But guess what? This is the same individual a couple years ago who just saw and heard everything, who just had the most amazing game sense, who just knew everything. He knew every way everyone was going. He knew everything. But yet he is struggling to go positive on Shipment in Modern Warfare 2, which by the way is the same game I showed you earlier. Same gameplay. That way you can see the multiplayer versus Warzone, But, hey, Beastly, he's only 2.5 hours into the stream. You got to give him time to warm up. It's like, okay, you're right. As you guys know, I have a kind of a golden rule here where even when you're 3 hours into your live stream, you still got to warm up. So I'm going to skip further into the live stream and see when he actually starts to, and I quote, warm up. Well, I can sure as shit tell you this is not the warm up game. This game, he went 21 and 33. He had a 0.64 KD with a shotgun on Shipment. This guy dropped a below average borderline bot lobby KD with a shotgun on Shipment. 0.64 KD. He went 21 and 33. Oof. But there's no way he keeps doing bad, right? There's no way the guy who just knows and hears everything and has the most perfect gaming awareness ever for every situation he ever gets put in. There's no way he keeps performing mid, right? Right? So this third game, again, using a shotgun on Shipment where they got absolutely dominated 29 to 128. Jesus Christ, they got cooked. He went 53 kills and 58 deaths, which is like a 0.9 something KD. Wow, he sucked 3 games in a row with a shotgun on Shipment. That's actually kind of impressive to suck so much in the same game that you drop 30, 40, and 50 bombs in Warzone, but you can't go higher than a 1 KD in multiplayer. Funny how that works. And then for the last multiplayer game he played before he got the fuck off and went back to Warzone, because of course he did, he went 50 and 44, which is barely going positive. So he had 4 back-to-back games on Shipment using a shotgun, in which he had 1 game where he went a little positive, 2 games where he went negative, and 1 game where he went barely positive again. But this is the same guy who has, 100 plus videos on his YouTube channel, probably more than 100, like hundreds of videos giving people tips and tricks on how to get better with settings, with class setups, all the nonsense you're used to seeing. Funny how that works. This guy can't go positive in multiplayer to save his life with a shotgun on Shipment, but yet can drop 30 and 40 and 50 bombs on Warzone like they're nothing. Funny how that works. So this is now the 5th game, right? He kind of got tired of having absolutely getting shit on in Modern Warfare 2's multiplayer, so he hopped into Modern Warfare 2's Warzone, and as you can see, homie got 10 kills. Yeah, that looks pretty mid to me. 10 kills in squads. I mean, pretty much everybody on this team got 10 kills except for Swag, so like, how much more do I gotta show you of him just being absolutely mid when he's not cheating, when he's not 2-boxing and not cheating and like not hiding the screen, when he's fully open about what he's doing, he sucks. But when he starts hiding the screen and dropping these crazy gameplays, it's like he's God all of a sudden. Funny how that works. So I could keep showing you just gameplay after gameplay after gameplay, stat line after stat line after stat line of this guy being somehow a messiah at Warzone in his videos and in his 2-boxing streams, but absolutely terrible when he's put against normal players who have functioning ears and functioning fingers. I'm just gonna end this clip, this video, this segment on his stream, where he absolutely crashes out. By the way, right? This is hysterically funny. Watch this shit. This shit is pristine comedy.
Oh! Oh, they know.
Of course, they put a little fucking bullshit ass bouncing Betty there.
Little bouncy Betty vibe, little bouncy Betty vibe.
You're so ass.
What's the class, bro?
Your shit was meatballs,
What
son.
is it? Am I the wrong one?
I don't know, huh?
So I think it's kind of funny that he's calling the other player's ass because, like a dipshit, he ran into a confined space, aka the bathroom, let them put a bouncing Betty in front of it, because that's what happens when you run to a confined space, you moron. You would think they would know that, considering the Warzone pros they are. But what do I know? I'm just some idiot on the internet. What do I know? Anyways, they get 5th place and instantly leaves the game. It's just pure comedy. Pure comedy, them raging and shit about people. When they actually play other people with functioning fingers, it's insane to me how much they rage. Like, they're so accustomed to abusing bots all day that when they go against normal people, or God forbid even good players, but just normal people, they just lose their mind. It's just a joke that writes itself. So because this video is getting damn near close to 2.5 hours without editing, I'm going to go ahead and speed run these last 3 videos. I think I've kind of beaten it pretty into the ground how much of a fraud this guy is. But this is a video from Modern Warfare, I believe 2, from 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, whenever this video was. It was his first ever nuke. And I'm going to play the beginning of the video, but we all know how he got this nuke, because he's not good enough when he's not 2-boxing, as shown by the 6 different gameplays or the 6 different scoreboards I showed you of him struggling to go positive with a shotgun on shipment, and him struggling to play Warzone without 2-boxing. So clearly he was never getting this nuke without 2-boxing, and you would never guess how he got this nuke, guys.
Dropping a nuke is one of the hardest challenges to ever be done in COD history. But in just 3 games, I'm gonna try to find the best meta weapon and drop it 30 kills without dying, or I gotta shave my head. I'm gonna try to nuke the entire map. If you guys don't know what that is, that's 30 kills in a row, and I'm only gonna do it in 3 games. I'm gonna switch up the weapon.
So here's the structure of the video. This NPC, this absolute bot, is gonna give himself 3 games to drop a nuke. If he doesn't drop the nuke, he's gonna shave his head. This is not done on a live stream, by the way. It's a video. So technically, he can keep doing the gameplays over and over and over again till he gets the nuke. So him giving himself a 3-game, parameter is stupid. Because if he doesn't get the nuke, he could just cut the gameplay and put new gameplay there of him actually getting the nuke. So the 3 limit is just stupid. Secondly, you struggle to go positive. This is the same game, by the way, Modern Warfare 2. The same game. The same game, you're struggling to go positive with a shotgun on shipment and on Warzone when you're not 2-boxing. You expect me to believe you magically grow the awareness overnight of going on a 30-gun streak. Which, if you're curious, yes, he gets the nuke. Here's the absolute fake, totally 100%, totally legit reaction of him getting the nuke. Here it is. So remember when I told you earlier about him having a third monitor, which doesn't really make a lot of sense? We know from his gaming setup video that we've already watched that his gameplay monitor is in the middle. I believe this is a video, not a live stream. But, you know, for argument's sake, we're going to pretend it's a live stream, right? We're going to pretend. He keeps looking on his left monitor, right? I'll rewind the footage so you guys can see it. You can see, like, he's looking dead center in the monitor, right? The middle one. You can tell which one he's looking at, like, right here. But throughout this, like, 15, 20-second clip, watch how often he completely tilts his head. Where he's not, like, slightly looking to the left. He's full twisting his head, looking to the left. What are you looking at? Please tell me you're not turning wall hacks on like you did in your Warzone shit a long time ago to get this 30 kill streak. Please tell me you weren't two-boxing and walling, right? Please tell me you were just two-boxing for this fraudulent gameplay. Please tell me you weren't actually cheating, right? Again, watch his face. Watch how far he turns his head. This isn't like a slight glance, like him looking at the mini-map. No, he full-on tilts his chin. That's a full head tilt of him looking somewhere.
Taking Alpha. Securing objective Echo.
Just because there's people who are very slow and want to argue with me on everything I do, I'm going to do this in fucking hyper slow-mo and literally point it out. So as you could see, he's middle monitor, right? He's locked in. He tilts his head forward. He's shooting the guy downrange. Middle monitor, right? Dead middle. He fires. I believe he gets one hit marker and then someone else steals the kill. Yep. Locked in. Looking at middle monitor. Looking mid. And then does a full fucking head tilt to the left. And not just is he doing the head tilt to the left. It's a full head tilt to the upper left. Which we know what monitor is to his upper left. Then looks back. Then looks back at the monitor in the top left. Then looks back. And then looks back again. This is kind of funny. And he's back in the middle. Like, right? You could just tell by his chin. You could tell by every which way he's looking. And now that we have the setup video, we know what he was looking at. He was looking at that very tall and long monitor that was to his left. Why? Why? You're one kill off a nuke. Why are you religiously looking at it over and over and over and over again?
Give it to me. Give it to me. That's a fucking nuke. We're fucking nuking. That's a two-piece, baby. Holy shit. Come on. That was the most stressful shit of my life. Another nuke. I just nuked again.
So, remember, he just dropped his second nuke. But this is the same guy who could not go positive using a shotgun on shipment. And this is the same guy that when he wasn't two-boxing in Warzone in the same stream, he could not get more than 10-ish kills. And now you expect me to believe he just miraculously, magically, Jesus Christ himself blessed him to go on not one, but two 30-gun streaks. Are we watching the same gameplay here? Are we watching the same content here? Insane. Insane. But don't worry, it gets much worse. So this video is called the Impossible Warzone Challenge. You want to guess what the Impossible Warzone Challenge is, you guys?
Today I took on the hardest challenge in Warzone 2 history. Win 5 games in a row all by myself and completing new contract at the end.
You heard that. I'm not even going to play any more of this video. You heard that properly. He expects you to believe he's a good enough player in Modern Warfare 2, which is the same game I keep showing you clips of, Modern Warfare 2. He could not go positive with a shotgun on shipment. And when he was playing with Swag and other quote-unquote competent, good, god-tier Warzone players, they won one game. Now you expect me to believe he's doing solo quads and he's going to win 5 games back-to-back-to-back to do the Impossible Warzone Challenge. Get the fuck out of here, you absolute lying bot. First of all, you didn't have all these games back to back to back to back. Yeah, there's no way in hell you're winning 5 consecutive games. These were either stream clips that were, you know, strung together, or he had like an 8-hour recording session and just strung 5 together. There is no way with the skill level that I've already shown you this guy doesn't have naturally that he's winning 5 games in a row. No way in hell. Secondly, this is not live. This is on a recording. So if he doesn't get a gameplay where he doesn't win, guess what? He just chops out the video and you never know. You never know. It doesn't make the final cut. And then just to give you guys an idea of how stupid he is.
Okay.
How absolute dumb he is.
Here's the easiest way.
He has a fucking YouTube short titled How to Get Easy Headshots in Black Ops 6. How to get easy headshots. I wonder, Chamu, how do we get easy headshots? Tell me the secret.
Here's the easiest ways you guys can get headshots on Black Ops 6. If you guys don't know, to unlock gold on every single weapon, you need to get 100 headshots. So if you guys are looking for a way to speed up this process, these are the exact perks I want you guys to run on every single class. That includes Ninja, Tracker, and Vigilance. And once you have all 3 equipped, you get a special perk at the end. And this special perk is called Recon and allows you to see your enemies through walls, which seems pretty crazy. It's basically walls for free, but this allows you guys to pre-aim your enemies through walls and get those headshots. And if you guys want more tips and tricks, make sure you guys drop a follow and join the
So this guy's absolute giga brain tip is to use Recon, get free wall hacks, and shoot them in the face. That's the tip. This video has 155,000 views and 7,000 likes. This genius, this absolute Albert Einstein-esque intelligence, the Stephen Hawkins clone, his genius big brain strat of getting more headshots is to shoot people in the face. Wow. 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 Chamu, would have never have put 2 and 2 together. I never in my life would have been able to put 2 and 2 together. To get more headshots, I just got to shoot them in the face. Oh my God. I just smacked my mic. Whoops. Oh my God. That's crazy. No, I'm done with this video. I'm done with this clown. I am so tired of hearing his voice. I'm so tired of this guy is so annoying at this point. He has so many videos. I'm just going to scroll through his videos of him doing tips and tricks and just look at my settings, look at my guns, look at my classes. This guy is just like probably hundreds of classes like this. Like there's just #1 setting from 2 months ago. #1 setting or movement settings from 5 months ago. #1 setting for fucking 10 months ago. This guy updates his videos on the new settings for the new meta garbage bullshit that he pitters you literally every month. One secret tip for everyone on. No, like this guy has just so much bullshit content. Yeah, the guy who struggles to go positive with a shotgun on shipment. Yeah, totally. He knows what he's doing with settings. It's just, it's crazy. It's crazy that this clown pitter patters all he does. He's friends with all of the other Warzone frauds, which is like, go figure. Like he's buddies with Swag and just absolute garbage person, an absolute garbage content creator, and an absolute garbage COD player. Also, I'm gonna point this out because I saw this and I really want to include this in the video. So I noticed in his videos that he started using almost the exact same thumbnail. Where is it? I'm going to show you guys. This shit was like funny. He used the same thumbnail. Here we go. He used the same thumbnail format like a billion times in a row. Look at this thumbnail format. Gun plus gun, Xbox logo, PlayStation logo. Same. And then 2 inches to the right, Xbox controller, PC, gun. All he did was change the colors. Same thumbnail. Right here, 6.9 KD with a KSV and a Jackal with a 1.3 bot lobby. He changed the colors, he changed the guns. It's the same thumbnails, right? Copy paste. The exact same thumbnails. But wait, there's more. Like I'm feeling like I'm in a goddamn sham commercial. He wouldn't reuse that same format, right, for his thumbnails another 17 times, right? Right? Change the colors again, change the guns, same thumbnail, change the colors, change the guns, same thumbnail, change the colors, change the guns, same thumbnail. You're getting the picture. This is the same thumbnail from earlier with the PlayStation versus Xbox, but this time instead of changing the colors, he's just changed the guns. Insane. Like I forget who said it in my chat, but someone the other day said that all of these frauds have the exact same haircut. And if you don't know, I call it the fuckboy fade. So it's pretty hysterical how they all have the same haircut. They look the same. They sound the same. They manipulate their audience. They lie to everyone the exact same. It's crazy that more people than me and Rick and a few others who call this shit out, more people need to vocalize how stupid this is and how much they're just not just ruining the COD community. They're ruining YouTube and everything else because they're setting an unrealistic expectation. So when new content creators, actual legit ones who actually play the game, who are actually good, they look bad compared to these two boxing, lying, manipulative, cheating frauds. So there we go. As always, I appreciate all you guys who watched till the very end. If you did watch to the very end, leave I don't know, a chicken emoji in the comments. Only we'll know as an inside joke that actually, you know what? I lied. Leave is there a Lucky Charms emote? I say emote. What am I on fucking Twitch? Is there a Lucky Charms emoji? If there's a Lucky Charms emoji, leave a Lucky Charms emoji in the comments. That's how I'll know if you watch all the way to the very end. I appreciate all you guys. As always, I hope you have a wonderful morning, evening, night, afternoon, day, or every time you watch my content in the future. Like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. Remember me a follow, sub on Twitch. I greatly appreciate it. Also, we got members. You get free content for 17 cents per day with a tier 1 membership. It means a lot to me. It helps me out a ton, and you also get a lot of cool benefits and perks in return. But I'll see you when I see you guys. Deuces.